Hey there! Today we'll have a look at a pen for which I received a lot of review requests, and Dennis van der Graaf of La Couronne du Comte was kind enough to provide me with one of these pens. And not only is that very kind of Dennis, but I pass it on by giving away this pen. Now I won't do that in this video. Aziza and I will do a serious nibbage on this pen, and in that video we will announce how you can win this pen. So keep an eye on my channel. Alright, here's the Visconti Box. Visconti pens, as far as I know, always come in boxes that have this type of cardboard outer sleeve, and then there is this box, which is a sort of miniature version of the regular Visconti boxes. Pretty neat, simple, fake leather, looks neat, and in there is the classic pen. Now, what about, oh, by the way, there's also a little information booklet, which for a pen of this price I think is very nice. It's full color, it has all kinds of pictures of famous people using these pens, and it has the picture of the Alchemy, which I think is a completely ridiculous Visconti pen. It actually has, it's two-ended, so it has nibs on both ends, really cool, but I don't own one. In any case, today we'll have a look at this pen. Now, the Visconti Classic, what's the story here? The story is that Visconti, known for its very luxurious pens, and the downside of luxurious pens is that they also have luxurious prices. So what we have here is an affordable Visconti. A Visconti, people who want to get to know the brand, who don't want to spend too much on a pen, who may want to have an everyday pen that's not too fancy, can check out. In this country, this pen is sold for 85 euros. 85 euros. And if you consider that, I think pretty much the first step up is well over 100. I think you're looking at something like the Van Gogh model, or the Rembrandt is a little bit, well, it depends a bit on what you get, but you are talking about more expensive pens. So if you want the most affordable Visconti, this is it. They come in a couple of colors, and well, here you go. I'm going to cover the parts of the pen, tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then do a writing sample. Top of the cap, finial, you get the Visconti logo. It's a little reflective here, but I think you can make it out. Then you have this clip. This is not the regular Visconti clip, because this is the regular Visconti clip, molded after the Ponte Vecchio. This is not the most representative example of it, but you can see this is a much simpler clip. Ball at the end, and it has the Visconti V. If you can't really see it well here, you can also check it out. It's this model, and here you have a better example of the typical Visconti clip. So you can see this clip is a lot simpler. Alright, cap, center band. The center band says nothing, just a chrome colored band. You have the barrel and this end cap, a bit of chrome there, and nothing at the bottom. As I said, simple pen, not too big, very light, and this is the green version, which has nice marbling. I do like this material. You can see it, it's a pretty sunny day out, so you can really see this reflection nicely. It's cool, it looks nice. This is a celluloid Visconti, and this is another material. So it's nice. The pen posts, and I'll show you the section. You can see it tapers down and flares out a little bit there. Then you have the nib. The pen is converter filled, and I have not tried it yet, but I wonder if you can convert this to an eyedropper. I know that people really love that. It would increase ink capacity, but I don't know if this bit is completely waterproof, watertight. Did not come with a converter, but you can put in a Visconti converter, probably also other converters, but I think I tried and I could not fit one of my cheap Chinese converters, which you can buy 10 packs on eBay. So you may have to fiddle around a bit with converters types. Simple converter, as you can see, it works. I had a Visconti converter lying around. You just slide it in, doesn't screw in as with some of the other Visconti models. And that's it. Now, that nib, I once understood that Bock makes Visconti nibs. I don't know if that's still the case. I don't know if it actually was the case, but someone once told me. And a Visconti nib, I have one here. Yeah, that's not a very representative one. Many of the Visconti nibs are palladium these days. Here I have a palladium Visconti nib. It's fairly big, and it has this sort of scroll work on it, and it is chrome colored. Here I have an older style gold, 14K gold Visconti nib, and the Classic has a much simpler nib, whereas those nibs are number 6, this is a number 5, it's smaller, and it's a bit more humble. It just says iridium point, and it has the an M for medium, and it looks a lot like a Schmidt nib. Nothing wrong with a good Schmidt nib, but it doesn't have a breather hole, and has a very, seems to be a very standard stock feed. Okay, what do I like about this pen? What do I not like about this pen? Well, as I said, the material on this one, that's pretty cool. I really like the way it looks. The clip, tight, but not so tight that you can't use it, and the nib, it writes. Out of the box, it wrote. So, nice. Size-wise, for me it's a little bit small, a little skinny, but a decent size, comfortable enough to use unposted, and posted you add just a little bit of length to it, but also quite some weight because the clip and all that. And there is I don't know if you can see it in this light, but there is a really big screw in there to keep this assembly in place, I'm sure, and that also weighs something. So the pen gets a little bit top heavy, I think, when you post it, but it's possible. That's what I like about this. What do I not like about it? Well, for 85 euros is not exactly cheap, right? You're looking at what, $90, $95. It's still relatively expensive, right? A Lamy Safari, 25, what is it, dollars? So this is not cheap. For that money, you get a Visconti pen, and people are, a lot of collectors, I know at least, are always very enthusiastic about Visconti. For me, one of the big issues with this pen is it does not scream luxury at me. And when I use other Visconti pens, I've shown you that the Opera Elements, and the Palladium nib I showed you is the Istos Arachnis. When I hold those pens, they feel very luxurious, very well made, and although they may be expensive, they give you the feeling that you've bought something very exclusive. With this pen, I lack that feeling. And even though it is also a lot less expensive than some of these other pens I've shown you, I miss the, I hate using the term, but the vibe that Visconti pens typically give me. Having said that, it's also a whole lot cheaper than many Visconti pens are. And I guess in a situation like this, you kind of get what you pay for. You may not buy the exclusivity of some of the Visconti pens, and yes, I know they may be overpriced, that's what most fountain pens are, we know that's the case. With this pen, it'll get the job done. And if you are looking to try one out, try the brand out, I think you could do worse than get this pen, because you will get a nicely made, and in my case, well-tuned pen that will do what it's supposed to do, which is right. Just don't expect to be blown away by the feeling of the pen, because I was not. Okay, thanks a lot to Dennis for giving me this pen again. Keep an eye on my videos, because in the Serious Nibbage episode dedicated to this pen, we'll tell you how you can win this. And all we need to see now is a writing sample. That's what's coming up next. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, so here we go with the Classic. Now, of course, I forgot to give you measurements for the Classic. The weight in total is 20 grams. The cap and body each weigh 10 grams. Cap length is 132.5 millimeters. That's 5.21 inches. Uncapped, it weighs 120.3 millimeters. Sorry, its length is 120.3 millimeters. That's 4.73 inches. Posted, it has a length of 156.3 millimeters. That's 6.15 inches. Section diameter is 8.6 to 10.2 millimeters, 0.33 to 0.40 inches, and barrel diameter is 10.6 to 12.1 millimeters, that's 0.41 to 0.47 inches. Okay, let's do some writing with this pen. What we have here is the Visconti Classic. This is a medium nib, only Nibs grade in which you can get this, and this is Mont Blanc Irish Green. Bit of writing. The nib is definitely not unpleasant, but it does give a bit of feedback, and I think you can hear that too. But the feed keeps up pretty well if you do that fast writing. Okay. Wetness, definitely not the world's wettest nib. And as to springiness, you can squeeze out a little bit, but your pen is going to run dry. Now, for those of you who enjoy reverse writing, quite scratchy, but for a word or two you may get away with that, and you do get a finer nib. So, thanks a lot to La Couronne du Comte. I don't know what that was, but it's nothing. La Couronne du Comte, who supplied me with this pen. And if you are not interested in winning it, or if you did not win it, or whatever, you can always go to La Couronne du Comte and use the code Brown10, and you get a 10% discount on this pen if you would like to buy it, or anything else, as long as it's not Montblanc. Hope that was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye.